It started on an ordinary November evening in the quiet suburb of Lancaster, Ohio, a town where nothing ever truly happens. But in the fall of 2014, something began that would haunt this community for years. A series of late-night sightings, one name whispered across police radios, and one expression that chilled every witness to the bone. A smile. A smile too wide, too human to be real. This is the chilling case of the smiling man in Ohio. The first report came from a college student named Megan Hartley. On November 12, 2014, she was walking home from a late shift at a diner when she noticed a man standing completely still under a flickering streetlight. His suit looked oddly formal for such a quiet street. His hands hung at his sides and his head tilted back slightly, as if he were staring into the sky. But when Megan walked past him, the man turned his head slowly and smiled. It wasn't a friendly smile. It was too wide, too stretched, almost painful to look at. She described it later as like his face was trying to hold something back, like laughter that never came. Megan ran the rest of the way home and called the police. They arrived minutes later, but the man was gone. Only faint footprints were found near the streetlight, leading toward the woods behind the old Brenton Mill. 2 nights later, another report came in, this time from an older couple living near the same area. Around 2:30 a.m., they heard soft knocking on their window. When the husband went to look, he saw a man in a black suit standing in their yard. The man wasn't knocking on the glass anymore. He was standing perfectly still, smiling. When the husband shouted, the man tilted his head, took one slow step forward, then walked into the darkness. Police searched the area for hours. Nothing. At first, the sheriff's department wrote it off as a prank. Small town, Halloween not long past, maybe a college kid having fun. But as the weeks went on, reports spread. Always the same details. Late night, silent, wearing a suit, and smiling. By December, residents started calling him the Smiling Man. Local forums and Facebook groups filled with blurry photos and wild theories, everything from cult rituals to escaped mental patients. But none of those explained what happened on December 23rd. That night, police received a frantic 911 call from a woman named Angela Price. Her voice was trembling, and all she said was, "He's inside the house." When officers arrived, Angela's front door was unlocked. The house was dark except for a TV flickering in the living room. On the couch sat Angela, eyes open, unmoving. No sign of forced entry, no wounds, no struggle. Just that same wide, frozen smile. The coroner later ruled her death as cardiac arrest, sudden fear. But that expression stayed, even in death. Detective Elliot Marks took over the investigation. He'd seen every kind of crime imaginable, but something about this case got under his skin. The photographs from the Price scene bothered him. The angle of the jaw, the strain in the muscles, like something external had forced her face to hold that smile. He went over every lead, neighbors, delivery logs, even security footage from nearby homes. Nothing. But one clip stood out, from a motion-activated camera across the street. For exactly 4 seconds, the lens caught something moving past Angela's window. It was tall, thin, and seemed to turn toward the camera just long enough to show a smile. The image was too grainy for ID, but enough to confirm what everyone feared. The smiling man wasn't a story. He was real. In January 2015, the town of Lancaster went quiet. Nightlife died, windows stayed locked, and local police increased patrols. Yet the sightings didn't stop. A gas station clerk named David Collins reported seeing the smiling man standing by the pumps at 3 a.m., motionless under a security light. The footage showed him standing there for over 20 minutes, not moving, not blinking. Then, at 3:23 a.m., the lights flickered and he vanished from the frame. No jump, no blur, no cut. He was just gone. Technicians checked the feed for tampering. None. The timestamp was clean. Whatever it was, it didn't move like a normal person. Detective Marks began connecting the dots. Every sighting clustered near the Brenton Mill area. An abandoned textile factory closed since 1998 after a series of worker disappearances. Local legend claimed one of the workers, a man named Harlan Devitt, had a breakdown, attacking several co-workers before setting fire to the building. His body was never recovered. Marks dug through archives and found something strange. The last surviving photo of Devitt from 1998. It was a grainy employee ID picture, but the expression was unmistakable. The same stretched, unnatural smile. Was Harlan Devitt the smiling man? Marks couldn't confirm it. The timelines didn't match, and Devitt would have been in his late 60s by then. But the face, the resemblance was haunting. February brought the most terrifying incident yet. A dashcam recording from a local deputy captured what would later circulate online as the smile tape. At 2:17 a.m., Officer Bradley North was patrolling near the edge of town when he saw a man walking down the middle of the road. Thinking it might be a drunk or homeless person, he slowed down. The dashcam caught everything. The man stopped walking and turned. His face lit up in the headlights. The smile, wide, stretched, shaking slightly. Then, without warning, he dropped to all fours and crawled toward the police car at unnatural speed. North panicked, threw the car in reverse, and the figure sprinted into the darkness. When backup arrived, there were only long scratch marks on the pavement. The footage was never officially released, but a 12-second clip leaked online. It went viral overnight. Thousands claimed to see hidden faces, unnatural shapes, even faint laughter in the background. Experts said it was compression distortion, but others weren't sure. By spring 2015, the sightings stopped. No new reports, no new strange deaths, just silence. Detective Marks filed the case as unresolved. He eventually transferred out of state, leaving behind a file labeled simply Smile. But in 2017, something happened. A private investigator from Columbus named Laura Keene reopened the case for a documentary. She interviewed survivors, family members, and police officers. Most declined to speak, but one, Officer North, agreed to a short on-camera interview. He looked older, tired, and afraid. He said something the editors almost cut from the final version. It's not a man. It smiles because it remembers you. Months later, Laura Keene disappeared. Her car was found parked on an empty road near Brenton Mill. The passenger